Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be what I picked up in CEX and HMV over the past couple of days. Firstly, when I was checking out the Blu Ray of Green Room the other day, I did notice on the trailers there was this trailer for this movie here, and it really stood out. And Deborah, actually, when she walked past, she goes, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds," because she's got a bit of a thing for him. I think we both think he's a great actor, and she obviously likes to watch him. So when I saw this, I thought, yeah, it looks quite interesting. So I checked on CEX, and they did have one just up the road for me for £2. So I got Selfless. Never heard of this till I saw this trailer. It's got Ryan Reynolds and Ben Kingsley. So actually, when I put it on, the trailer looked really good quality, and I thought, you know, this is something I can just pick up. So I hardly ever watch trailers, but this one actually did look quite good. So that's Selfless. As I was hunting around the shelves, I saw this movie. Now, the Debs is a big fan of Harrison Ford, and she also likes the sci-fi movies. So for £1, I got Ender's Game. Now, one of the reasons I picked it up was because it's got this amazing lenticular slipcover, which sometimes when you look at it straight on, when I look at it straight on, it looks a bit blurry. But if you turn it to the side, that's when it sort of comes to life. I don't know if that'll do the same for you, but it's a really good lenticular. This is quite a deep lenticular. I love it when that happens. I can see some depth to it. Yeah, it's really, really good. The film, I don't know anything about it. It may be good, it may be bad. But interestingly enough, it does have Ben Kingsley in it all. And you know, you haven't bought a movie with him in it for years, and then all of a sudden on the same day you buy two of his movies. So, interested to see what the Debs makes of this. I don't think I've even told her that I've got this one. But I think with this being sci-fi and Harrison Ford, I think she'll give it a whirl. And I did stick it on. And the quality on this was absolutely brilliant, if I'm honest. It's got some amazing special effects in it, so it may be a good watch. So that's Ender's Game. So speaking of the Debs, we have just recently finished watching the series of Bad Education. And I know they made a movie, and they've also just done a reunion one, which I've seen, but she hasn't seen it yet. So for £1.50, I got the movie,
Where's me ladders?
The Bad Education movie. Now, I have heard terrible things about this movie, but I think the series is that good. And I watched the reunion that they did when they came back and they sort of finished the series off, which I thought was great. Deborah hasn't seen it yet, but she'll be watching this after watching the movie. It is available on, I think, on Netflix. But this movie, even though it doesn't say it, does have a load of special features on, outtakes and all that sort of thing. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this on physical. I don't think you can get any of the TV series on Blu-ray, unfortunately, because if it was out, I would buy it. I would watch that over and over again. I do think it's a really good series. It is sort of like a bit sort of childish at times, but I don't mind. I like the characters. I think all the characters at the school are brilliant. I think we just really enjoyed it. Although it's no Citizen Kane, I'm happy to get this. So that's the Bad Education movie. Next up is a movie I've had in my eye on for a long time in the North Shields CEX. Now, it was £12 and it was £10 and it was £8, and I thought if this comes down a little bit more, I will get it. And then I just looked at it and it was £5. So I thought that's the price I wanted for it. So I got for £5 Breaking the Waves. This is the Lars von Trier movie, so you know you're in for an absolute laugh fest. Not when you're watching this. But I've got to say, I saw this on TV, just bumped into it and I thought, what's this all about? And I've got to say, it's a really stunning movie. Yes, it's quite, you know, he's got this, well, you know what he's like. He puts stuff in it that's quite, I don't want to go too much into it because it's one of those movies where it's best off knowing not too much about it. So the short story of this movie is this girl here, she's obviously got some learning difficulties and she's besotted by a fella who works on an oil rig. This bloke here, and what is he called again? He's called Stellan Skarsgård. Wow. And he's a great actor. He's been in a load of films. I think he's been in The Mandalorian as well. This girl is a devout Catholic. And what she does is she prays for him to come home from the oil rigs. Well, he does come home, but he's paralysed. Yeah, so this movie is quite unique in a way because it's got a lot of, the ending of it I think is absolutely incredible. But it's a funny watch. It's not as bad as Dancing in the Dark, wow. But it's one of those ones where it's hard to explain without going too much into it. But the performance of this girl here, I think she's called Emily Watson. I think she got an Academy Award for it, or an Oscar or something, because it is great. She's so believable in the way she plays this Scottish girl in the Highlands. But it's a good little film, but not be warned, beware that obviously it's Lars von Trier, so it's not straightforward, and it's got that element to it that's a bit, emotional, shall we say. Anyway, so great film. Put it on. I did know that when I watched it on the TV, the quality was not very good at all. It feels like a sort of handheld 16mm film, which I think it suits, and it just looks exactly the same on the Blu-ray. But it's got a lot of extra features on there as well. But for £5, this is a steal. But I've been looking at it 10, 12, 15 pounds. I'm saying no, that's just a bit too much. But I'm really happy to have this in the collection now. So that's Breaking the Waves. The next movie is another one that I kept my eyes on, and this was another one. It was at £12, £10, £8, and I thought, well, I'll see what happens. I'll probably go at about £6 in it, but it went down to £5. So for £5, I got Syncopation. Now it's not a movie about sinks. It's actually a movie about, well, not drumming, but there's drumming involved in it, because the standout for me in there is Gene Krupa. He's the amazing drummer. Actually, I'm going to do a top 10 video of my top 10 drummers of all time, so keep an eye out for that someday. And the best thing about this, obviously, you've got the booklet in it. It's got 2 discs, DVD, Blu-ray, and this movie here is kind of, I think it's from about the 40s or the 50s. It stars Jackie Cooper, who was in the 1978 Superman, the movie. So I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of jazz, but this movie does seem, well, I've had my eye on it for that. And I think if you look at something, you know that you want to at least check it out. And for £5, I couldn't turn that down. It's full, it's complete, it's in great condition. So, I couldn't say no to it. So that's Syncopation. Another one from CX I've been on the fence with probably for the longest time. And I picked it up, and I picked up the 4K, I picked up the Blu-ray, I picked up the box set, I picked up the regular one and thought, well, I get it, well, I not, and I never really picked it up. I think when I watched it back in the day, I wasn't in the right mindset for it. I didn't really enjoy it, and I always thought I'll not really go back to that. I don't know if I'll go for the sequels, but I did really, recently, after watching a lot of people talking very highly about it on YouTube, I thought, well, I think I'm going to check this out. And when I saw this here for £12, it was a no-brainer to pick it up. So I picked up Candyman, the Blu-ray. Now this set, I've always liked this set. I've always liked the look of it, and it was just a shame that I didn't really have a good recollection of this movie. But when I picked this up, I thought, right, this is the time to check it out. And plus as well, I think if you played for the regular one, it's around about, it's £14, isn't it, at the moment, unless it's on a sale for £9. So really, there's no comparison. I wasn't really too bothered about not getting the 4K. It's not really a movie that I think I will love. I think I will enjoy. But, well, it's one of those ones where it might work out or might not. And if it doesn't, I can always sell it on or pass it on or whatever. But it's fully complete with this. This stuff is jam-packed with stuff, and it really is. You get the Candyman movie. You get 2 versions of the movie. I did put it on the other night, and I watched it late at night. I was tired, and I fell asleep, although I was quite enjoying it to start off with. But there must be a lot of jump scenes in it, because I remember waking up, I was bang, and I thought, whoa, and then I must have fell back asleep. So about 3 or 4 times that happened. But I will go back and I will watch this fully. You get like a UK cut, and you get, which was one I was watching, you get the US cut. You get a load of extras in here. You also get, in this disc, you get a booklet, you get art cards, you get everything in here. I didn't realise there was so much in it actually. And also you get a huge booklet, and the hard case, which is in the absolutely brilliant condition. You get the poster, double-sided poster, and you get the booklet as well. So this is the storyboards of the movie. So I like stuff like that. I like looking at that. When you see art stuff, I like art stuff to do with movies. So yeah, so there was just no way I was going to leave this on the shelf. And this is the time when I'm going to say, right, do I like this or not? I mean, it's got a pedigree about it, the fact it was written by Clive Barker. But anyway, I just want to got this. I thought I'm going to check this out once and for all and see what I think of it. So I'm happy to pick it up for £12. Like I say, it's in absolutely mint condition. It's great when you do get these things from CX. Every now and again they do come up, and I mean, some of the ones I get, as I show on my Instagram channel, it looks like someone's just put it in the end, shot it with a bow and arrow, because there's just holes all over it, there's rips, and it's a disgrace that would sell that type of thing in a shop. But anyway, this was like I say, mint condition. So that's Candyman. So the other day I was in HMV. I bumped into my good friend John Hall, and it's strange that you bumped into him twice in 2 weeks. And we're talking about this movie here, and I said to him, I said, I'm not really going, I need to get this movie, but I don't want to get it full price. And lo and behold, weirdly enough, when I left them, I went to CEX, and the movie was there. So for £15, and it was £20 in HMV, I picked up Maniac. Now, I needed to get this one because of the fact that I collect the whole lot. As you can see there, I've got the whole lot there. All 49 of them. Well, it's 50 now, because there's spine number 50. And I knew I had to get it, and the fact is I didn't really want to pay full price. So I know I've paid £15 for it, which isn't really like much off, but it's a bit off. And it's got a load of special features on here, and I mean tons. Now I do have this on 4K. This is a 4K remastered Blu-ray, and I do have this on 4K, and the 4K does look great. This movie was shot in 16mm. It's never going to look brilliant, but it does look pretty good on 4K, the Blue Underground one. This one, I was led to believe, is kind of like, it's fully uncut as well in the UK for the first time, because this movie has never been released properly in the UK. It's been one of them ones that's been really frowned upon by the censors because of the content in it. Now, this movie, I think it's a great movie. It's one of Joe Spinell's best movies, and you do get a reversible art sleeve, which is there, which is the sleeve that got in a lot of trouble back in the day. In fact, I don't think the sleeve's been available in the UK ever. I'm really surprised to see it, because it was censored when it came out back in the day. This so you've got this alternative. You've got the picture cover here is actually on the other disc. So anyway, this here, I thought, right, and you got a poster as well in the booklet. It's all in fantastic condition, and I thought, that's it. I've got the whole lot. I've got the 50. Now, I would like them to sort of stop at 50, because I do think that they might start to release double dips, because I'm starting to get a few of them with the Italian collection, and also this one here. Haven't got many double dips in the slasher collection, but I don't really want to get any more, and so it's just keeping them a collection. And but the slipcover, I love the slipcover on here. It's one of the nicest slipcovers that I've seen in this collection, and it does tell a story of what this movie is all about. The movie itself does look pretty good. Now, I can't see any sort of DNR on it at all. It does look gritty, it does look grainy, it does look very low budget, because it was. The colours in here aren't that great. They're quite good in the 4K with the boost on the HDR, but it's much better than I thought it was going to be. But this movie is highly recommended. It's really over the top, really gory. I think it's much better than the remake they did with Bilbo Baggins. Is it Bilbo? No, it's Frodo. And I think this is the definitive Maniac movie, but it's such a good performance, and you do actually feel sorry for him, which is really strange, but it's a great little film. Happy to get it, happy to get this collection up to the whole 50s, and I hope that kind of stops there, because I don't think they can go really anywhere with it. Maybe not, but I never heard anything else about anything coming out after this. So happy to get this. And I know I've got it, and I'm done with them, so I can move on if they're never going to come out anymore. Hopefully they're going to stop where they are. So that's Maniac. So when I was talking to John Hall in HMV, I was at the 2 for £24 sale in the 4Ks. And there's a couple in there that I really wanted, but they're still in the 2 for £30 sales that are not in a sale yet. I'm sure in the future they'll come in the 2 for £24 sale. So the first movie I picked up in that deal was Fury. Now, I've heard loads of good things about this. I've heard great things about the picture quality. I've heard good things about the movie as well. I think Brad Pitt is a great actor. When he's good, he's really good. And so I put it on, and you're right, the picture quality here is exceptional. But what I didn't expect to be as good was the actual sound on it. Now, there's a bit when they were driving around in the tank, and then out of nowhere, a missile comes and blows up a tank behind them. Now, I didn't see that coming, but also the sound of that, I was like, what's that? I didn't even know it was on the telly until it sort of exploded with this like bang. So the actual bullets and the sort of firing shells between themselves, tanks, the noise from it was unreal. So this movie has got Dolby Atmos on, you can really tell. Like I say, those missiles were incredible. So really excited to watch this. I don't know if this is a movie that the devs might watch, which is not too. She doesn't mind war films. We do prefer World War II war films if we watch them. But I'll see what she thinks about it. So it's one to watch in the future with her, maybe. So that's Fury. And lastly from HMV is a movie that I've sort of bumped into loads of times and not paid any attention to it. But I'm hearing more and more people talking about this online. And when I saw somebody putting some clips of this movie on, I thought, you know what, this looks like it could be one of the best 4Ks you'll ever see. So in the 2 for £24 sale, the other movie I got was The Great Wall. Now, this looks unreal to the point of I couldn't believe how good this movie looked. Now this movie, I was looking into it. It's a movie from China, and this movie is the most expensive movie that was ever made in China. Had a huge budget, and you can tell the costumes in this and the setting of the Great Wall, which looks 100% real. Well, obviously it's not. There's a lot of CGI in it, but the CGI does look real. So I originally thought this movie would just be a movie about the Great Wall of China, and not really. It's like a historical movie, and I didn't think I would enjoy it at all. But what I've learned, what I now know is it's like one of these ones. It's like the House of Flying Daggers. It's got this bit where they're flying all over the place, and that's the type of thing that me and the devs love. It does have Pedro Pascal from The Mandalorian in it. It does have Willem Dafoe, Matt Damon, and also this guy here who is in House of the Flying Daggers. So this movie has got a real pedigree. But honestly, when you see the quality of this movie, it was just unreal. It's definitely one of the best 4Ks I've ever seen. And the actual look of it, the colours, the garb that they've got, the reds in it. I was just, the bits I'd seen, I can't wait for the devs to watch this, because I think she will watch this one. Now, I've always seen this movie cheap. It's always been in the sale. It's always been in the CX for literally next to nothing. So if you're into getting a really good looking 4K movie, which is full of this sort of sword and sorcery and these big people, big scenes of people jumping all the way through the air, if you're into that, I think you will love this movie. Now this movie, I always thought it was a big flop. I don't think it was a flop, but I don't think they'll go down this front again with it. So this is kind of one of a kind, but I really do like what I see in this movie, and I can't wait to watch it all the way through. Okay, so don't forget to check out this live stream coming up on the Friday, hopefully. I'll put a little reminder about that as soon as I get like 100% it's going to happen. And look forward to seeing you there, me and John together on the screen, sort of chatting, and also chatting with you any questions you've got. So feel free to ask us them. So yes, thanks for watching. You take care, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.